Good afternoon. Welcome back to Passion World Talk Radio Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Global Media Network, LLC. Educate, enlighten, entertain, mindfulness. And this week, we're continuing to explain and read out the U.S. Constitution. And we're starting back up again on Article 3, Section 2. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and treaties made or which shall be made under that authority, to all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, to controversies to which the United States shall be a party, to controversies between two or more states, between citizens of the same state claiming lands under grants of different states, and between a state or the citizens thereof and foreign states' citizens or subjects, in all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, and those in which a state shall be party. The Supreme Court shall have original jurisdiction. In all other cases before mentioned, the Supreme Court shall have appellate jurisdiction, both as to law and fact, with such exceptions and under such regulations as the Congress shall make. The trial of all crimes, except in cases of impeachment, shall be by jury, and such trial shall be held in the state where the said crimes shall have been committed, but one not committed within any state. The trial shall be at such place or places as the Congress may by law have directed. Section 3. Treason against the United States shall consist only in leveling war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimonial of two witnesses to the same overt act or on confession in open court. The Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder or treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of the person attainted. Article 4. Section 1. Full faith and credit shall be given in each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state, and the Congress may by general laws prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be proved, and the effect thereof. Section 2. The citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states. A person charged in any state with treason, felony, or other crime who shall flee from justice and be found in another state shall, on demand of the executive authority of that state from which he fled, be delivered up to be removed to the state having jurisdiction of the crime. No person held to service or labor in one state under the laws thereof, escaping into another, shall, in consequence of any law or regulation therein, be discharged from such service or labor, but shall be delivered up on claim of the party to whom such service or labor may be due. Section 3. New states may be admitted by the Congress into the Union, but no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state, nor any state be formed by the junction of two or more states or parts of states without the consent of the legislature of the states concerned, as well as of the Congress. The Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States, and nothing in this Constitution shall be so construed as to prejudice any claims of the United States or of any particular state. Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against evasion and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. Article 5. The Congress, whenever 2/3 of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to this Constitution or on the application of the legislatures of 2/3 of the several states shall call a convention for proposing amendments, which in either case shall be valid to all intents and purposes as part of this Constitution, one ratified by the legislatures of 3/4 of the several states, or by conventions in 3/4 thereof, as the one or the other mode of ratification may be proposed by the Congress, provided that no amendment which may be made prior to the year 1808 shall in any manner affect the first and fourth clauses in the 9th section of the first article, and that no state without its consent shall be deprived of its equal suffrage in the Senate. Article 6. All debts contracted and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution shall be as valid against the United States under the Constitution as under the Confederation. This Constitution and laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. The senators and representatives before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and of the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. Article 7. The ratification of the conventions of 9 states shall be sufficient for the establishment of this Constitution between the states so ratifying the same. First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Third, no soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Fourth, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Fifth, no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. No sure any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Something for you all to think about with ICE. You are protected by the U.S. Constitution. Evoke it. And we will continue with the Sixth Amendment next week. Thank you very much for joining us in Historical Lest We Forget. This program is sponsored by Conscious Research Solutions. Please go over to passionateworldtalkradio.com/research made simple blog. Read all the pain points that are affiliated with learning how to do research or to hire someone to do it for you. And while you're there, please sign up for a 15-minute free consult. Also by Flipping Out, How to Train Your Human, written by a human with a sense of humor and satire when it comes to learning AI. Please remember that AI is not there to replace your brain or to do your thinking for you. It's merely an assistant. There's a new picture out on reinventing Dr. Frankenstein. I suggest instead of listening to the fear-mongering that's going on, one should pay attention to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That AI is a collaboration of all the knowledge and wisdom from men and women. So please remember that. Also, if you want to hear the whole truth, nothing but the truth, with facts, figures, and information and data supplied by your primary news resources, the Washington Post, the BBC, the New York Times, please consider donating to passionateworldtalkradio.com/donation. This is an all-women owned and operated internet talk radio station. We've been up for 20 years, and we're going to be up for another 20. Thank you very much for listening, and have a great weekend.